Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is gonna be my first video that I have made. This is not my first YouTube video I have made. I have done a lot of YouTube videos, but this is like about nonsense and stuff about what videos I'm gonna do. Today I actually have something that is worth YouTubing about, and so a lot of people gonna do it. And so a lot of people will do it. Before I start, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. And get me as many subscribers as possible, and get as many likes as possible. So subscribe, like, and share, and don't forget to turn that notification bell on. Okay, so let's start with the first YouTube video that is about something. So today I'm going to talk about brackets, men's and women's NCAA Division I brackets. Now, I'm going to start for what I want. I'm going to do women's first because I know women's more than I do men's, because I watch both men's and women's basketball. I'm a UConn fan, and stuff like that. I'm a UConn fan. I go to UConn, so I have UConn winning the whole thing. But I do know more women's basketball teams than men's. I know more women's than men's. When I said I mean more women's than men's, is yes, I know players on women's basketball. I know more players on women's basketball than men's. I know men's players. I know almost all women's basketball players. Every women's basketball. I'm still learning men's basketball player, but I know every women's basketball player. I know almost every men's basketball player. I'm still learning them. I know women's and men's basketball players good, and I know that both of them are great. UConn men's is the #1 seed right now. Next to Houston and Purdue. UConn is the #3 seed. So the #3 seed next to NC State. And I'm just looking here. NC State is the 3rd seed. We are UConn the 3rd seed. LSU is the 3rd seed. And I think that's only the 3rd seed. 1 seed, of course, Iowa and South Carolina for women's. And we get to men's first. But let's start with the women. So I made 1, 2. Bear with me. This is my first real YouTube video, so it's gonna get better. But bear with me. This is almost my first YouTube video, so bear with me. This might take a long time. So 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 women's brackets I made. Used to make more than one. I'm not playing for money. This is really my second time or first time, maybe first or second, third time me of making brackets for women's. So those are my 4 ones I made. These I have 1 men's. This is men's. I have 1 men's. I have 2 men brackets made. And that's women's. Keep that there. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna do women's and then men's. So what I have here is I have the brackets I made. And I also, not only the brackets I made, I also have blank brackets like this that has no thing color, no teams in the championship game of Final Four. The only thing you see is the teams that they're playing for the first round. Women's don't start yet. I don't think women's start till Saturday, I believe. Men's always started. So I'm gonna do women's and we do men's. I'm gonna do men's later because men's always started. So we have some teams that have lost, some teams that have won, and men's are going right now. After I watch this video, I'm gonna go make an Instagram video about this, and then I'm also gonna watch men's basketball championship games, not championship games, March Madness there. And then also I have blank brackets for men's, and then of course I have my brackets I made. So I'm always gonna start with the brackets I made first before we go into the brackets that I haven't done yet. So we're gonna do that later. And I'm gonna do this women's thing is gonna take a long time, so I'm gonna do a separate video on men's basketball another day. That might not be today, that might be tomorrow, that might be the next day, but I'm gonna start with women's, and then another day I'm gonna do it. So let's start with the women's. I'll tell you my men's too, but I won't tell you like who won and who lost. I just will say go on ESPN or go on Google and see who won and who lost the games. I will put down who I think is gonna win the games. But I'm not gonna say. I know one team that's been beaten already. Just because I have to go on ESPN, I can't look on my ESPN right now when I'm videotaping. So I will tell you women's and men's of what I think is gonna win. And then I have one of the games I know that lost already because I looked at that before. Again, I'm not that prepared. This is almost my first YouTube video. So let's get started here. So let's go to women's. I have four brackets. I'm gonna go with this one. We have LSU, UConn, South Carolina, NC State, LSU, UConn, Texas A&M, NC State, and then you have this one. I forgot to look at it. It's not really great. So I only have 3. So let's start with this one. So let's go to regional 1. They don't say west, east, or middle of country. These are it just says regional 1, 4, all the way up to 3, I believe. So we're gonna just start with that. So regional 1, we have South Carolina against Presbyterian. I hit South Carolina to win against Presbyterian. Then you have North Carolina and Michigan. I have Michigan winning. Oklahoma and FGCU. You have Oklahoma winning. Indiana against Fairfield. Sometimes you have upsets. Sometimes upsets do beat teams and stuff. Indiana is 4 seed. Fairfield is 13 seed. Now I'm rethinking, and I should pick Indiana to beat Fairfield. I don't know Indiana that well, but I think no, I had picked Fairfield. Okay, so there is one thing that I have picked Indiana for. So I picked one tournament with Indiana winning against Fairfield, and then I picked the other ones I had Fairfield winning. So I will go off of the Fairfield one first, because the Fairfield one is not just the Fairfield one. There's some in there that are great. Fairfield one is, I think Indiana can beat Fairfield. I don't know Fairfield or Indiana women's basketball that well. I know more UConn, South Carolina, and Iowa. But we're gonna just go off of, I picked Fairfield to win this one. Probably not gonna happen. But then I have Nebraska playing Texas A&M. I have Texas A&M winning against Nebraska. I have Oregon beating Washington. Washington. I have Marquette beating Ole Miss. I have Notre Dame beating Kentucky State. Then we're going to go back to regional 1, and we have South Carolina beat Michigan State in the second round. We have Oklahoma beating Fairfield. That's what happened. If Fairfield goes on, I don't think it will, but if Fairfield goes on, Oklahoma will beat Fairfield. If not, Oklahoma will play against Indiana, but we'll go to that bracket when I get to it. Oklahoma beat Fairfield. Texas beat Oregon. Marquette beat Notre Dame. You can see upsets. Notre Dame and Marquette are 2 great schools. I just think we might have upset. I think Notre Dame is great, but I think Marquette can get it done. South Carolina beats Oklahoma, and Texas A&M beat Marquette. South Carolina beats Texas A&M, and I have South Carolina in the Final 4. So let's go to regional 2 to see who's gonna play against. And then we have regional 2. Iowa beats AC or HTMU. I don't remember what one of those. I think already won already. And then I have Iowa beating them because Iowa is the number 1 seed. The other team is 16 seed. It's AC and UTM. I don't know what colleges are. This thing said it's either going to be one of those 2 teams. I think one of those 2 teams already won already. I have to look that up. I'll get back to you later. I have West Virginia beating Princeton, Colorado beating Drake, Kansas State beating Portland, Louisville beating MTSU, LSU beating Rice, Creighton beating UNVL, UCLA beating CA Site, whatever. And then I have Iowa beating West Virginia in the second round, Colorado beating Kansas State in the second round, Louisville losing to LSU in the second round. I have Creighton losing to UCLA. I have UCLA beating Creighton. I have LSU beating UCLA. So UCLA will be UCLA will be LSU. No, LSU will beat UCLA. Wow, that was hard to say. So LSU will go to the Final Four. I have Texas beating Duquesne. I have Alabama beating Florida. I have Utah beating South Dakota. I have Gonzaga beating UC Irvine. I have Tennessee beating Green Bay. I have NC State beating Chattanooga. I have Maryland beating Iowa State. I have Stanford beating Norfolk. And then for the second round, I have Alabama beating Texas for the second round. I have Utah beating Gonzaga for the second round. I have NC State beating Tennessee for the second round. I have Maryland beating Stanford for the second round. And then for the third round, Alabama will lose to Utah. Utah will beat Alabama. NC State will beat Utah. NC State will beat Maryland. So NC State will go to the Final Four. So that's South Carolina and NC State will be in the Final Four. Before we get to who wins that game for me, let's go to Regional 3. I have USC beat Texas A&M. I have Michigan beat Kansas. I have Baylor beat Vanderbilt. I have Virginia Tech beat Maryland. I have Syracuse beat A, B, and A or Z. I don't know. Syracuse is 11th seed. Syracuse is 6th seed. 11th seed is Z. They're too close in numbers. I think that Syracuse could win. I don't know about Syracuse, but I'm going to pick Syracuse there. I have UConn beat Jackson State. I have Duke beating Richmond. I have Ohio State beating Maine. So then for the second one, I have USC beating Michigan. I have Baylor beating Virginia Tech. I have UConn playing against Syracuse. So I have UConn beating Syracuse. So UConn will move on. Duke playing Ohio State. Those are all second rounds. And moving on to the third round, to the Sweet 16. USC against Baylor. UConn will UCLA against Baylor. USC will win against Baylor. I have UConn playing Duke. UConn will beat Duke. UConn will play USC. UConn will beat USC to an Elite 8 to go to the Final Four. So LSU in my Final Fours. On the Regional 1, I have South Carolina. Regional 4, I have NC State. And then over here, I have on Regional 2, I have LSU in the Final Four. And then Regional 3, I have UConn in the Final Four. So I have NC State beating South Carolina in the Final Four to get to the championship game. South Carolina is great, but at some point, it is a lot of games you have to play, a lot of persistent game. I know South Carolina is undefeated, but you need to play games persistently strong, and you have these strong players consistently play and consistently win games and get points. And I think that I think there could be upsets. There were upsets. I think last year there was a lot of upsets against number 1 schools. So it could happen. NC State's the number 3rd seed. Like UConn's number 3rd seed. NC State's the number 3rd seed. South Carolina's number 1. Iowa's number 1. But I just believe that South Carolina will lose against NC State. And then I have LSU losing against UConn. LSU is the 3rd seed and UConn is the 3rd seed. So we're both 3rd seeds. So with that, LSU is a great team. UConn is a great team for women's basketball. I have UConn beating LSU. So in the championship game, I have NC State play against UConn, and I'm going to have UConn win that game. We had an NC State game in Elite 8 against UConn where UConn beat NC State in 2 overtimes. The first 2 overtimes in the Elite 8 history, and UConn won in overtime. So I have UConn winning in the championship game. And I put down how many total points will be scored in the championship game, meaning both teams have 50 or around 50 things. UConn winning by 50, and NC State had like 50. I think this is going to be, I don't know about overtime, I don't know whatever thing, but I think at the end of the game, either regular quarters or in overtime, UConn winning by 100, UConn winning, and I think the total points would be 103. That means both teams is going to have around 50. points in the end of the game. That is right now my bracket. That is what it looks like. So I'm gonna zoom in for you like that. And zoom in for you like that. So that's what the bracket looks like for what I have of winning it all. And then I'm gonna pick one of these two brackets because I don't want, because this is always 15 minutes. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna do this one. So in this one, I'm not gonna read all of them. I'm gonna just do the teams that will play in the Final Four and will play in the championship game. So I have South Carolina going all the way to the Final Four. I have Texas going all the way to the Final Four. I have Texas beating South Carolina. I have Texas beating South Carolina. They're both Texas and South Carolina. They're both a number 1 seed. So anything can happen there. I have Texas beating South Carolina in the Final Four, and Texas will go to the championship game in Cleveland, Ohio. I have Iowa going on to the championship game. I have UConn going on to the championship game, to the Final Four. So I have UConn number 3rd seed beating Iowa. I think UConn can get the gun. Clayton Clark is great, but UConn has Paige Beckers and Leah Edwards. I know AZ Fudd is gone, but we have Paige Beckers, Leah Edwards, Nika Muir, Ashton Say. I think Ice Braid is there. I don't know who is hurt and who's not hurt really. But I have UConn beating Iowa to go to the championship game. So in the championship game, I have Texas Longhorns play against UConn Huskies, and I'm having UConn Huskies win. I didn't put down how many total points I think it's going to be, but I think that end score is going to be, they're both good. I think Texas is going to be, I think it's going to be 1 point difference. I think UConn will win 66 to 65. UConn 66. Texas 66. UConn 67. 1 point difference. This could go into overtime. It could not. It could end in the season, but I think UConn's going to win only by 1 point. 66 to 67. So UConn would have 67 and Texas would have 66. So I'm going to show you that quickly. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm going to show you really quickly what I do have here. And what I did put in for, I don't know if you can see that well, but you know what? I'm going to put it in just in case you can't see it well. So that is what I have, and this is what I do. So that is my women's bracket. Now, you're wondering who's going to play in women's basketball for the first rounds. There you go. And then you have who's going to play for the first round on this side. And then I just printed out a blank bracket like this. So after teams lose, I can keep track of who wins, who loses, and then I can cross them out on mine, so I know how well I did at the end of the championship game. And whoever wins the championship game, I would know that. So I can tell if UConn, Iowa, USC, whatever. So that's women's. I also have a blank bracket for men's. So let's start with men's. This is what men's is playing for the first round. So I can also do that for men since I had made a bracket for men. But men's bracket, I only made 2. I also have a blank thing, but I'm going to show you this one because this is who the teams are playing. Sometimes the albums and the logos help you. So that's why I'm going to show you the logos and stuff, because sometimes the team logos help you. Help people. Sometimes the names are fine. But I'm going to show you the logos just because sometimes it does help you. Sometimes Depends on who the person is. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it's not. So you have those two. I'm gonna put this with this. So those are my women's brackets that I showed you men. So my men's brackets. Those are just blank. My men's bracket. I'm gonna go with. I didn't make two brackets, but the first one I have Charleston beating Alabama, but there's no way Charleston can beat Alabama. There's no way that 13 seed Charleston is gonna beat number 4. It could happen, anything could happen, but I just don't think a number 4 seed is gonna lose to a number 13 seed. I think that is done. So now I'm going off one thing. So with this one, and like before, I'm gonna show you quickly who I have in here, and stuff. Then we'll go. So for the Final Four, I have UConn going to the Final Four, and to the championship game. I have Duke going to the Final Four in the championship game. So I have UConn going all the way. I have UConn, beating, where's UConn? I have UConn beating, BYU, but we know BYU lost already. So I'm gonna have to cross that out. BYU lost to, I believe, declined today. I have to check that up, but that's what I think. So BYU, this is me messed up. But UConn, one thing UConn won't be is UConn be messed up, and Duke. So I have Duke getting to the Final Four. I have UConn getting to the Final Four. So I have UConn play against Duke in the Final Four, and I have UConn beat Duke in the Final Four. And this, for these total points, same as women's, nothing have changed. Same as women, I have 119 points scored. And not all together, but this is all together. Like, if you take two, not really good at math, I don't really want to add these up. But if you take the score of UConn score and Duke score and you put it together, 119 points is what you're going to take if you put the two scores together. I have UConn winning about Duke. It's going to be a close game. UConn is the number 1 seed. Duke is the number 4 seed. So it'll be UConn gets number 1. Purdue is number 1 seed. I have Duke beating Purdue to get to the championship game to play UConn. But I think that Purdue is good. They're number 1 seed just like UConn. But again, upsets can happen. Duke is also a great basketball school. Duke is amazing. So I think Duke can get it done. And I think Duke can beat Purdue. It's going to be hard. It might be a close game. It might go to overtime. But I think Duke is going to upset Purdue. And I think UConn is going to go to the championship game and beat thing. But I don't know if Purdue lost already today or Duke always lost to it already today. Because the only team I know that lost today. The only team I do know that lost today was BYU. That's the only team I know that lost today. So that means so I'm gonna show you this. No BYU. I was saying that I'll put BYU on my men's bracket. On my Brink men's bracket, but I just want to show you that. So BYU did lose. So that is it. So right now that bracket is messed up. Doesn't matter if, the other ones could be correct, and stuff like the women's can definitely be correct, and this can be definitely correct, and this can definitely be correct in here. The thing is, since BYU is messed up already, kind of hard to, when they play brackets, and I think this is real, if you play for money and one team lost and you thought the other team would win, your brackets is messed up. You're not going to win the money no matter what. I think all the teams need to mess up. I think all the teams need to, win. So I think BYU would, I think for you to get the money, if the championship game was today and it was over and BYU made it, until I had BYU going all the way to, have UConn beating BYU in the Elite 8, I believe, or Sweet 16. Sweet 16 or Elite 8 have UConn beating BYU, but that's not going to happen. UConn going to have to play maybe Duke Henson, whatever. Duke Henson was 11 seed, Bayer was the number 6 seed. 11 beat a number 6 seed, so that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes number 1 seeds and number 2 seeds and number 6 seeds don't win. BYU was the number 6 seed. They didn't win. The number 11 seed, number 11 seed beat a number 6 seed. So that's what I'm talking about. You can have upsets. That was an upset today. Completely was an upset. And stuff. So that's basically what I have for men's and women's bracket. I will make videos and I'll make more YouTube videos since now with March Madness and stuff. From now until the championship game, I won't make them every day. I'll do them when I can, and I will have it stuff, and I'll give you my things, and I'll tell you how well I'm doing on my men's bracket and how well I'm doing on my women's bracket, and also showing you the blank bracket too. So that's basically all I have for today for my first real YouTube video. And I'm gonna have definitely 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5, maybe 10 videos. More videos definitely coming of March Madness and my brackets here. And that's definitely be most of my YouTube videos upcoming in is gonna be the tournament and March Madness for men's and women's until the championship game. Till the men's crown a Division 1 NCAA championship. Until we crown a men's NCAA Division 1 national championship like UConn won it last year. Hopefully they go back to back. We don't know. We'll talk about that later if they do. Until men's is crowned a Division 1 championship, that is when I will end it. And until men's and women's is crowned a championship for national championship for Division 1, for NCAA basketball, I'm not going to I'm gonna make all the videos until men's and women's until the national championship trophy is in a men's or women hands, in one of the UConn and one of the men's or women's teams hands. So till then, I'm gonna go from this video, some other videos until the tournament is done, until we have a champion for men's and women's D1 basketball. So till then, this is my YouTube channel. I'm Micah. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to turn that notification bell on. Until next time, bye!